Well, hello everyone, and hello Charlie Hampton. Charlie is here to speak with us about the intuitive composition course, everyone. Hi, Charlie. I just want to say thank you for joining us, and I'd love you to share with us about, where you came from, but also how you found me and what got you into taking the course, that sort of thing. So hello and go.
Hey, good morning. And yes, thank you very much for the opportunity, Pauline. Interestingly, I was thinking it was about 6 years ago when I first started painting. And I came to it through efforts that a group of spiritually like-minded people, we talked about ways to deepen our practice. And whatever came to my mind was that I thought I might try painting. And so um, I went to the dollar store and got some paints. And, one thing led to another. I was doing this, that, and the other thing, but really not really making any kind of progress until I started taking classes here locally. And an artist had opened up a shop where she sold her paints and stuff like that, and she started running classes. And I took every class that she put, and so consequently, I started to find my feet as an artist and started to get technical skills. And but it was still a pretty much a smorgasbord, Pauline, for a couple of years. And I did things like social media and tried different things, and it just really like a dog in a field of bones. I just would try everything. And it was in 2019 when I found you on Instagram. I because I was working as an abstract artist at that time, and I saw your stuff, and I thought, God, I really like that. And I remember sending you an email and asking you if you ever gave classes, because I was kind of a class taking guy. You said, no, I don't, but I offer, and you one-on-one coaching, and you have already had an established kind of coaching practice. And so after some conversation and some thoughts, I signed up for a coaching or 12 session coaching program with you. That was a really significant fork in the road for me, Pauline, because the first thing you did was you asked me to send you six paintings that I had done that I really liked. And you did looked at them and found a few different things that were common in all those paintings, because I did them at different times. And that was the first real idea that I got about my style, because I started to say, okay, when I paint, what I'm happiest is when I paint like this. That was my first real opportunity for a kind of a one-on-one support dedicated to me and my style as it was evolving. And during that period of time, you had started developing intuitive composition as an offering, and I signed up for the second session. Again, that was something that probably was giving a gap between working with you to begin with and then starting something like intuitive composition. That was the right thing, because I had a chance to get out and mess around and find some more stuff. And so,
No, that's good because we find we find people in our lives and we watch or interact or slowly get to know them, and we reflect upon ourselves and them and see where we fit, right? Which I think is really important, because you want to have people in your life that fit you, that bring out the best in you and challenge you as well, right? Yeah, so that takes time. So you took it in autumn 2021. So do you recall some of the things that really stuck out for you as big experiences or takeaways from the course that you can share with everyone?
absolutely. And after thinking about it, I mean, um, the course required me to pay attention and to do the work, like follow the modules, step by step in the way that you wanted us to. Um, but it was, as things unfolded, my whole perspective about creating was deepened, and I'm thinking about the things that I took away from that, Pauline, and this required me to, like all of us, required us to actually do the work in the class. But the outcome for me was significant in the sense that, because we were, you know, based on composition and my new understanding of composition, it changed everything. And one of the things that I've learned, that the saying is that, color gets all the attention, but composition does all the work. And it was through this class that I realized that this is where it starts. And so the tools that I got to do composition um, through the class, when I think about now, one of the things it allows me to do is start a painting. And I start the paintings mostly the same way, with a bunch of marks and other things like that, but it allows me to move forward with composition in mind, knowing that I want to end up with some place where my painting is compositionally strong. So, um, and it really does. I mean, there's no one right way to get where you want to go, but the idea is that designing a painting with composition in mind saves you a lot of heartache, and it allows you to get to the next level, the next place you want to be, in good form. So the design, having a design habits come out of this, Pauline, was really important.
Yeah, and one of the things, if I can interrupt for a second, Charlie, is that um, you know, both intuition and design are so important. And I think what you meant too, when you know that design is important, it's not so specific that that's all you're going to do. You do want to tap into what it is that you want out of yourself as well. I don't know what that is. Do you see this?
I did.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Cool. Anyway, um, what was I saying? I'm so easily distracted, but um, what I was kind of getting at too was, and you're probably going to get to it anyway, so pardon me for interrupting, Charlie, but really honing into what it is from yourself, which is that listening to your intuition so that you can also use the strengths of knowing about design, right? Like, right?
So, well, exactly, and that was my next point. The first thing I talked about was giving me the tools to get started in a way that gives you something to work with. The second piece was that, I mean, as abstract artists, for sure, we all know what it is like to be stuck. The intuitive composition class gives you the tools to find your way out of a hole. Intuitive composition gives you the clues, what to look for about how to get yourself back on track. So that's a huge.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And also, when, for example, turning a painting, which a lot of artists do, listening to, okay, you rotate it this way, not just, I think that's the best way, but how it feels inside, which way. And that is also really folded into intuitive composition as well, is it's not about rules, it's about knowing the information, but also knowing in here. Yeah.
yep. Kind of the third thing I was thinking about is that, and this to me is, again, follows up on what we're talking about. I have a style. I have a few fundamental things that I really do like in my work, but it's never the same. It looks like it's painted by me, but they're never the same. And one thing, but they all have good composition. And so for me, you can be as flexible as you want, but you never lose your way. You never get someplace where you can't create compositionally strong art.
Mhm.
And so, and I mean, as you know, the principles of design and the elements of design Pauline, apply to all forms of art, non-representational right through to photo realization. They all have the same rules. And so for me, it doesn't matter where you decide you want to try, this class prepared me to be comfortable trying things, knowing that I can actually build it or design a strong painting.
Yeah, and you can find your way back too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's probably key, that both in developing the course, offering it, and coaching artists, there's always, you can find your way out of this. But they're the key things that I offer to help you find your way back, both in, intuitively and intellectually.
Well, I mean, Pauline, you and I've spent a lot of time together doing in group work and stuff like that. And people, when they bring their paintings to for discussion, without exception, they've kept on going till they got stuck.
Yeah.
And then they say, help. And then what do we talk about? We go back to the elements of design and say, well, I mean, it's so we just use those same things that we learned in class to help each other find our way out. So we all speak the same language. It's kind of
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
Always being willing to try things, new things, and so on and so forth. And, in a safe place, which intuitive composition was or is, allows me to go and do things much more confidently. Um, I've had a lot of work or success showing my work and so on and so forth. And again, I attribute that to what I learned through our work together. And like I say, just creating work that I believe is compositionally sound. So
Yeah, it really does make a difference. There's art materials are so fun, but you can have all the beautiful effects you want in your work. If you can't get this thing to hang together, you know it,
yeah, well, yeah,
and people looking at it know it as well, because a good composition helps to create a feeling,
absolutely.
right?
Yep.
So, if you don't have it put together, your viewer is gonna feel the not togetherness or the chaos, or so it's
Yeah,
good to know about it. It's good to know about what you're creating out there.
yeah. Your willingness to help others and to share so generously with what you've experienced, to me was a big piece of why I'm still around. You know, and I think that I'm not sure, but we'll see where it all ends up. But I mean, to me, it's just been wonderful so far, and a big part of that was the class work that we did together and so on. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you so much. Well, I hope everyone really enjoyed this conversation. I do appreciate you taking the time to have this conversation with me, Charlie. I really do. It's always great to hear from the students of intuitive composition because, of course, I want to hear good things, but I don't know what you're going to say. So it's really nice to hear what the experience was for you. So thank you.
oh, you're welcome.